A pleasant good evening, RCR News Bulletin at 7. My name is Marka Davis. In the headlines, House of Representatives prematurely adjourned their opening section on Tuesday following or due to poor attendance. Ministry of Foreign Affairs says Liberia has many countries commitment to support the country's bid for a non-permanent seat on the UN Security Council. Several members of the Liberian Senate underscored the need for the Boakai administration to prioritize road connectivity across the country. And of the home front, Ukraine denies allegations that it had supplied drones to rebels fighting against the Malian army and Russia-backed mercenaries, according to the BBC. Those are the headlines. Now the news in details. The House of Representatives on Tuesday adjourned its third quarter opening section prematurely due to poor attendance. Tuesday's section was adjourned by Deputy Speaker Thomas Fowler after 20 out of the 73 members of the House of Representatives attended the opening of the third quarter of the House of Representatives. Deputy Speaker Fowler attributed the absence of majority members to medical leaves, travel leave, and constituency break. He, however, encouraged all lawmakers to return on Thursday to continue their work for the Liberian people. The Deputy Speaker emphasized that their focus upon return will be on holding the executive branch of government accountable and ensuring checks and balances. The Lofa County District 1 representative spoke Tuesday during the opening of the third quarter of the House of Representatives. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs says Liberia has disclosed that many countries are committed to supporting Liberia's bid for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. Liberia recently launched its bid for a non-permanent seat on the Security Council during the 79th General Assembly in New York, the United States. Making the disclosure Tuesday at the Ministry of Information, a Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister for International Cooperation and Economic Integration, Dr. Ibrahim Myean said, following the launch of a rigorous campaign, several countries have pledged their support to Liberia. According to him, of the over 190 countries that are expected to vote in the election slated for June next year, Liberia could secure the vote of over 100 countries. Despite social media rumors that Liberia has not been greeted by other nations, Dr. Nyen expressed optimism that Liberia is poised to be victorious in the process. Several members of the Liberian Senate have underscored the need for the Boakai administration to prioritize road connectivity across the country. The senators made the statement in their opening statement of that's the 37th day sitting of the legislature upon their return from break. The senators, in separate remarks, stressed that the issue of bad road network is of serious concern and there is a need for the government to pay keen attention. According to them, for too long, people in hard to reach places across the country continue to struggle to have access to some parts of the country due to deplorable road conditions. The senators made the calls during their deliberations on road connectivity Tuesday when the Senate resumed business for the third quarter. In another development, Nemba County Senator Prince Johnson has recommended an immediate review of the mineral development agreement signed between ArcelorMittal Liberia and the government. Senator Johnson observed that ArcelorMittal has failed to adhere to its corporate social responsibility. As such, there's a need to review the MDA. According to the Nemba County Senator, the agreement enacted by the legislature has been violated by ArcelorMittal. Senator Johnson, making remarks at the opening of the 37th sitting of the Liberian Senate, outlined the issues of benefits and opportunities for the affected communities. Senator Johnson also emphasized that as lawmakers, they will not allow the safety of workers to be compromised at the ArcelorMittal section. You're listening to a bulletin of news from the News and Current Affairs Department here at the Renaissance Communications Incorporated. My name is Maka Davis. In more news, Government lawyers have suffered a serious legal blow at the Supreme Court in their petition to prevent Judge Roosevelt Willis' decision to release a Guinean national, Ibrahim Kali Sharif, on bail from the Monrovia Central Prison. This follows Associate Justice Yami West's October 15 legal conference with party lawyers at the Temple of Justice. Justice Wesse, according to RCR judicial correspondent, declined to issue the alternative writ of prohibition as prayed for by Justice Minister Oswald Twe, seeking to overturn Judge Willis' decision to place defendant Sharif on bail. Justice Wesse's decision further mandated Judge Willie to proceed with the matter consistent with law. The Justice in Chambers order means that Judge Roosevelt Willie was not in error when he granted defendant Sharif's motion to be placed on bail consistent with Chapter 13, Section 13.1 of the Criminal Procedure Law of Liberia. Our judicial correspondent further said that in a couple of days, the Guinean national will be released to his sureties if they meet all conditions set by criminal court resident George Roosevelt Willie. Recently, suspect Sharif was arrested by agents of the National Security Agency on grounds that he was plotting to overthrow the military government of Guinea, headed by General Mamadi Doumbouya, through the border between Liberia and Guinea and took 115,000 United States dollars from him. The executive director of Global Street Child has lauded the government of Liberia for what it calls the huge political will to bring more children into education. Street Child is a global children's charity that works in over 25 countries around the world, dedicated to tackling the barriers that prevent children from learning in safe environments. The institution, in a press release Tuesday, said the collaboration and strong commitment between different government ministries, particularly the Ministry of Gender and the Ministry of Education, offers great hope for the future, noting that a board initiative to reduce the number of street-connected children in the country is welcoming. The release signed by Street Child Executive Director Andrew Temin further indicated that over the last few months, President Boakai has been supportive through political will and deep belief to get thousands of children off the streets and into classrooms. Temin has meanwhile called on the government of Liberia to apply more efforts in ensuring that no child is left behind, no matter their circumstances. The chairperson of the Police Academy Community Election Committee, Madam Florence Innes, has disclosed a rerun at one of the voting centers in the disputed election. The election in Police Academy Community in Painesville was disrupted after an unknown individual allegedly fired bullets at one of the centers, the Police Academy Public School, where the counting process was ongoing. Speaking Tuesday to reporters after the reading of a petition or resolution from a hearing recently conducted in the community, the election committee chairperson Florence Innes said the rerun is expected to be held within the period of 1 month. Also speaking, one of the candidates in the disputed election and standard bearer of the Police Academy Liberation Party, Siwan Nimlan, vowed to collaborate with Team Kukaju, one of the parties in the election, for the growth and development of the community. Meanwhile, the chairperson of Team Kukaju, Winston Gray, has called on the Liberia National Police to investigate the shooting incident as they gear towards the rerun process in the community. Gray warned individuals, especially District 5 Representative Priscilla Cooper, not to interfere into the Police Academy election, calling for a free, fair, and transparent process. And out of Liberia, Ukraine has denied allegations that it had supplied drones to rebels fighting against the Malian army and Russia-backed mercenaries. It comes after Paris-based Le Monde newspaper reported that Ukrainian drones were providing support for the Tuareg rebels who are benefiting from discreet but decisive support from Kiev. Mali's junta-led government ended a long-running alliance with former colonial master France in 2022 in favor of Russia in a bid to tackle a years-long insurgency in the nerve, but it has been unable to kill the unrest and recently suffered heavy losses alongside its Russian allies, according to the BBC. To end this bulletin of news, a recap of the headlines. House of Representatives prematurely adjourned its Tuesday session due to poor attendance, according to ROC, a reporter assigned at the House of Representatives. Ministry of Foreign Affairs discloses that many countries are committed to supporting Liberia's bid for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. Several members of the Liberian Senate underscored the need for the Boakai administration to prioritize road connectivity across the country, decried the deplorable condition of roads in major parts of the country. Another one from Ukraine denies allegations that it had supplied drones to rebels fighting against the Malian army and Russia-backed mercenaries, according to the BBC. That's RCA News Bulletin at 7. My name is Maka Davis.